Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. I'm Nick. Today I'm talking about some albums I recently picked up, including 3 from Analogue Productions that I'm sure will be some of the best sounding albums in my collection. There's a bunch of links down below. You got links for the Vinyl Den Facebook group, for the merch page, for the Spotify and Apple Music playlist that I put together every week, and the Patreon page. So make sure you check all that out. Like always, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new episodes. So before I get to those Analogue Productions albums, I did have a couple other ones that I picked up recently. So I've got maybe a dozen or 2 dozen unofficial or bootleg pressings that I've got in my record collection. And there is one big website that for a number of years, they kind of specialized in those kind of releases. And then slowly they tried to get away from that and try to kind of turn themselves into like a more traditional record store. All they did was just official releases. So ever since then, I've had a hard time finding somewhere to find those kind of pressings because, to be completely honest, let's take an album like Antichrist Superstar by Marilyn Manson, something that's probably never going to get reissued. And I can't drop, $400 or $500 on an official pressing. So if I want to have a copy of it on vinyl, a bootleg or unofficial release is really kind of the only way I have to go to listen to that on. Of course I can always buy it on CD, but if I want to have a copy of it on vinyl, that's really the only economical way to do that. So I recently found this group on Facebook, and I don't want to mention them by name because I don't know how much publicity they really want for what they're doing. If you're interested, you can always reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, or you can email me and I'll give you some more of the details. But what they do is they specialize in doing these bootleg or unofficial pressings. If there's enough interest from members of the group, they'll do a pre-order for it and then they'll get it all pressed. So I started off with just 2 albums. I kind of wanted to test them out to see how their albums were. And I did end up pre-ordering a couple other things from them, but they had I think it was a $50 minimum they had to meet. So I had to buy this first album to get the one album I really wanted. So the first one, this is Clutch, Slow Hold of China, rare and unreleased. I'm not a big Clutch fan. I don't think I've ever listened to, I know I've listened to their first album, and I think I've listened to most of their second album, which was their self-titled album. I don't really know anything that's on this one. So like I said, this was like $20. It was thrown in for me to meet that minimum, and I'll spin it and check out this album and see what I like on it, or if I like anything on it, and maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I'll end up selling it next time I'm at the record store. But it's on translucent orange vinyl. And as far as bootlegs or unofficial pressings go, a lot of times the album artwork looks really kind of blurry. They actually did a really good job with this one. There's the front cover. There's the back cover of it. And then it even comes with, a nice printed inner sleeve, which a lot of unofficial pressings don't either. And then, like I said, this is on just a translucent orange. But what I really wanted when I saw because they did like a whole video, a preview video of some of the stuff that they were going to be auctioning off, was this next release. This is an album I've wanted for a long time. I've had it in my want list. If I want an official pressing of this, it's going to cost, easily $300 to $500, which is way out of my price range. I'll never spend that much money on an album. But it's Pearl Jam 20. This came out back in 2011. The only way to get this was through the Pearl Jam 10 Club, which, 2011, I didn't know anything about it, at least it being on vinyl. So like I said, when I saw this in the preview video, I knew I had to have this one. And they did a great job with this one. I've already spun this one a couple of times. You get it on the sleeve so you can see it a little bit better. And like I said with the other album, a lot of times with these unofficial pressings, the covers look blurry, and they did a great job. Like it's a nice glossy cover. It's nice and clear. Even on the writing on the back is all nice and clear. It does come with a nice printed insert in here. And then the albums themselves, it's a triple album. I got this, I think this was like $30 or $35 is all I paid for. So it was a great price. Typically, they would sell these albums for, I think, $60 because it's like for one LP, I think it's $40, 2 LPs is $50, and then 3 LPs is $60 is typically how they price their albums. And then all 3 of them are on the same. It's like a semi-translucent silver vinyl. And because this album is so hard to find, I don't have anything to really compare this to, but this does sound great. I will say that I do have other unofficial pressings that I also have official pressings with. and have done like A/B comparisons, and there's not a huge difference in the sound quality in them. But I've got other ones where you put it on, it sounds like hot garbage. But like I said, they did a great job pressing these albums. And then that brings me down to the 3 albums that I got from Analogue Productions. You know, Analogue Productions does a great job with these 45 RPM presses. I've got several in my collection. I know the biggest one I've got, like the first one I bought that I really noticed a huge difference with, was August and Everything After by the Counting Crows. I've got 2 other pressings of that album, and the 45 RPM pressing from Analogue Productions is like hands down not only a better pressing than those other 2 copies I've got, but one of the best sounding albums in my entire record collection. Even to take that and put that up against like a UHQR or a One Step from MoFi, I think that those, you know, for $60 a piece, you know, it's a lot for an album, but for $60 a piece compared to $150 for a UHQR, and there's not much of a difference between the sound quality between those 2 pressings. I mean, Analogue Productions does an unbelievable job with these albums. They're doing the whole Atlantic 75 series, which, you know, is a whole long laundry list of incredible albums you can pick up through Analogue Productions. Yeah, like I said, they're all going to run you about $60, but they're going to be some of the best sounding albums in your collection, hands down. So I've been a big fan of The Doors for a really long time. I think the biopic came out in, I think, 1991, so it was probably 91, 92, so I was like, you know, 13 years old probably when I first started listening to The Doors. Been a huge fan of them ever since. So Analogue Productions did releases or a version of the 45 RPM version of all their albums several years back. I want to say it was like 2016, I think, when they first did these. And they were out of print for a long time, and then they finally started reissuing them within the last couple of years. I've gone back and forth. Like I said, because they are $60, it's a lot for me to drop on an album, but I finally decided to grab 3 of them, probably my 3 favorite albums, and I'll probably end up eventually picking up the rest of their albums also. But I wanted to start with just these 3. And if you've never bought any of these Analogue Productions albums, the 45 versions, these are, like I said, they're going to be some of the best sounding albums in your record collection. I know they're kind of steep at $60, but I think what you're getting value, I think, for that $60. So hype sticker on here says the Analogue Productions guarantee innovation plus precision equals the best LPs ever pressed. You know, I would agree with that. I think they're easily some of the best ones out there. Original master tapes, everything's always from the original master tapes. It even says right here in the sticker, 100% analog masters. I know, of course, with the whole MoFi scandal and all that stuff over the last year or so, that I think Analogue Productions is probably one of the only companies out there that are still doing it all 100% from analog tapes. But it says heavyweight vinyl. I know when they first pressed these, I think they're around 200 gram, and then all the reissues, I think, around 180. Unmatched quality control, deluxe packaging, limited edition, because I think they only do 1,000 copies of this at a time. So that's the hype sticker on there that you see on the front of the album there. And they're I'll go ahead and open this up real quick, because these are all like sealed from Analogue Productions. Now I got it out of the bag. You can see like I said, it's a high quality front and back cover artwork that they use on these releases. And if you probably can't see it on the video here, but you can see how thick the cardboard is that they use for the jacket. Like I said, it's a nice heavy deluxe gatefold that you got with these. You can hear the kind of crackle a little bit as I open this up. And then it's got the picture of the band and the liner notes and the lyrics in there. And then these always come with anti-static sleeves also. So I'll pull these out real quick. It also has an acoustic sounds flyer in there with all the other stuff that they've got coming out over the probably over the quarter, I would assume. Yeah, here's all the bunch of the Atlantic 75 releases. There's several of these I want to pick up, but I know a lot of people have been subscribing. There's a whole subscription service through Analogue Productions to pick those up. And then, like I said, these all come in anti-static sleeves. This is side 1 and 2 here. These things that look absolutely flawless. You know, I still clean all my records, and I'll still clean this also, but you know, I would feel comfortable playing this right out of the packaging. I mean, this thing looks absolutely flawless. And then side 3 and 4, same thing. So the only thing I can really knock Analogue Productions for with these releases is when it comes to the hype sticker. I don't know, this is really kind of meaningless to a lot of people out there, but when it's a nice release like this, I always try to pull the hype sticker off. you can't really get the hype stickers off the packaging. I've even tried to get, I've taken that like a blow dryer and heat it up to try peel them off, and I always end up ripping them before I get them off of the packaging. So that was the debut album from The Doors. I also picked up a copy of Strange Days, which is probably, it's not my favorite Doors album, but it's definitely up there. I think probably LA Woman is my favorite, and then probably Morrison Hotel, and then this and their debut would kind of fall somewhere under that. But same hype sticker that's on that first album. And like I said, I'll try to get the hype sticker off of it, but I probably won't be able to get it off of there. There's the really nice, it's nice shiny, got a nice gloss to the front cover there. There's the back cover of the album, if I can get my light off of it there. And then same thing, this is another gatefold. It's got a very famous picture of the band in there, and then all the lyrics. Actually, this is a little bit different. This one actually has all the UHQR releases. So it's got some of the Steely Dan releases on there. It's got the Coltrane release. It's got the White Stripes release on there. And then on the back cover is a bunch of the SACDs that they've been releasing, which I've got a couple of those. Those sound really good also. But like I said, you can't really go wrong with any of the stuff you're going to pick up from Analogue Productions. And then the same thing with the first album. They got nice anti-static sleeves that they come in. Now it's got the same Doors label on there that the other one did. That's side 1 and 2. Then you got side 3 and side 4. Actually, there looks like a little bit of a smudge on this one, so I'll definitely have to clean this one up before I try to play it. And then the last album is the whole reason I picked up these albums, because they did a UHQR pressing of this, and the UHQR is going to run you like $150. So it's really pricey. And from what I understand, or what I've been told, the 45 RPM version, the standard Analogue Productions version of LA Woman, is a better sounding processing than that UHQR. And I picked up all 3 of these for just a little bit more than I would have spent for that one album. So it's all the same stuff, same hype sticker that's on the other 2 releases. And like I said earlier, this is my favorite album by the band, but it wasn't for a really long time. It's definitely grown on me over the last few years. So there's the cover of it. And then the back cover. The only thing I can say is I wish they would have done like the rounded corners like the original pressing is. But, it's kind of a really stupid thing to kind of be nitpicky about. And then it's got the same, there's the picture on the inside of the jacket. And then the lyrics go along with it. And then this looks like the same insert that was in with with Strange Days. So I won't go over that again, but... Here's let's see, what side is this? This is side 1 and side 2. Same thing, anti-static sleeves. There's side 1 and 2. Then you got side 3 and 4. So this does have a different label on it than the other 2 have. I've got an original pressing of this, so I think this is the only album of the Doors I actually still have an original pressing of. So I'm interested to check this one out and kind of compare it to how the original pressing sounds. And I've been told by a few people that have the UHQR version that even though the UHQR does sound good, it still doesn't beat the sound quality of this one. That's why I decided to go this route. Like I said, I got all 3 of these albums for a little bit more money than I would have spent on that UHQR release, so it just made sense to me that way. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. Make sure you drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of those Analogue Productions releases. Do you have any of them? Have you listened to any of them? Have you picked up any of the UHQRs? Because I do have several of those also, and I think they're almost always really great releases. I think the RU Experience Jimi Hendrix release they did, I think it was last year or the year before, I wasn't all that thrilled with. I actually have a pressing that I picked up that was pressed within the last couple of years that actually sounds a little bit better than the UHQR release, and that's like $25 you can pick that album up with. So, I as much as I like some of those UHQRs, I understand that there are better sounding albums out there sometimes, but let me know what you guys think. Like always, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below. That's all I got. Until next time, keep on spinning. Peace.